Hey guys, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride, and I'm back for Last Week in Vegan. The first story of the day, starting on a high note, the vegan movement is winning. The media outlet Quartz has come out to say that veganism has finally broken through to the general public. The author talks about how the vegan movement had to grow its brain had to overtake its heart, and that's something that we see frequently in this movement. It can be difficult in a movement that is so driven by compassion, by heart, by raw emotion and feeling, justice and respect. These are all things that we feel strongly in our hearts. But appealing to people on these points, in these arenas, can be incredibly ineffective in convincing people to see your way. It causes people to get defensive. It causes people to be uncomfortable. And while change can only come from discomfort, the vegan movement has seen this evolution that moving towards more cerebral arguments can get to people without necessarily causing them to feel like they're being attacked, even if that's not what was happening with the pleas from the heart. The author of this article talks about how focus on single issues has brought a lot to light that people hadn't at first paid attention to. And I find this is interesting because I feel as though a lot of vegan media lately has been talking about the problems with single issue campaigns, the issues with focusing on welfare or focusing on one animal specifically. It is interesting to hear a differing opinion that these single issue campaigns are actually the reason why veganism is gaining so much traction. Purdy states, "Wielding a bullhorn in the streets might feel good, but it's not an effective way to change behavior." Now again, some people in the vegan movement feel like this is the wrong way to approach it, that this is a way of making meat eaters feel more comfortable with their decisions, that the welfare movements to move towards cage-free and free range is making people feel more comfortable eating eggs rather than ending eating eggs altogether. This is a debate that has been going on for as long as the movement has been around, whether it's more important to shock people into completely changing their behavior or more important to take those small steps to improve the lives of the animals that are already here. And that's something that each person has a different view on and can't be determined objectively. I want to know what you think about this article in the comments below. I'll leave a link to it so that you can read it, and let me know what you think about single issue campaigns and how you feel like they're affecting the vegan movement and if they are a large reason for the prevalence of veganism now in 2016. The second story of the day is millions have no idea that cows are slaughtered after milk yield drops, study finds. This study is confirming something that many vegans already know. 6 out of 10 people admitted that they had no idea that cows had to be pregnant to produce milk. I don't know about you, but I've definitely had adults, decades my senior, not know that cows had to be pregnant to produce milk just like every other mammal. And it seems laughable, and yet that's not information that I always knew either. 83% of the people studied believed that they knew what was going on in farms, what was going on to produce the meat and animal products that they ate, but they really didn't know. 2/3 of people had no idea that male baby chicks were killed after only living for a couple days, if that. And just under 70% believed that the practice should be illegal. This is standard. 200 million baby chicks are killed every single year. In the egg-laying industry aren't allowed to live. They can't lay eggs and they won't grow big enough to bring in a profit as meat. But people have no idea. As the respondents were told more and more about the standard practices in the animal agriculture industry, they consistently reacted by claiming that these practices should be illegal, such as farrowing crates, which are used for pigs that have just given birth, holding them down on their side with a bar on top and around each side of the mother to keep her from her babies, ostensibly to prevent her from rolling on top of them, but really just to make everything easier for the humans who are in for profit. They also believed that the removal of tails and teeth of baby piglets should be illegal. Again, something that is standard practice in the animal agriculture industry. In this study of 2,000 people that was done in the UK, about half of them claimed that they would consider reducing the amount of animal products they ate after hearing this information. This is great news. If 50% of the people who simply hear the truth are willing to reduce their consumption, think about what can happen once everybody in the world knows what's going on. Once people can't claim ignorance. Even more exciting is that 16% claimed that they would give up meat and dairy entirely. This makes me so excited for the future of the vegan movement. As we can see, it is growing. We can see the evidence of it all around us. Awareness is up. People are more concerned about the environment. They're more concerned about animals. They're more concerned about their health. And they're more aware than ever how animal agriculture plays into all of those things. Many of the people who are still consuming animal products aren't bad people. They're not trying to hurt anybody, least of all themselves. They just don't know. They don't truly know. No matter how much they know of the facts, they don't know the truth. And that's why we have to keep advocating. We have to keep having conversations with people, not screaming matches, not criticizing or judgment. Not that any of you wonderful viewers would do anything of the sort, because you're all awesome. But we need to have serious conversations. We need to have truthful conversations. We need to challenge people in a non-confrontational way. We need to make people think, because only once people think can they change. The next story of the day is that Too Faced has been acquired by Estee Lauder for $1.45 billion. I love Too Faced. I wore Too Faced blush and bronzer on my wedding day. I wear Too Faced products every single day that I wear makeup. I'm wearing it right now. They don't test on animals, and a good number of their products are vegan. But I find this development concerning for a number of reasons. Estee Lauder is a huge company, and they openly engage in animal testing on their products. Too Faced adheres to a strict policy to never test on animals and only uses synthetic bristles in their brushes. Too Faced founder Jared Blandino came out with a statement on Instagram after the acquisition. He said, "I have built my life and my company with love, kindness, positivity, and compassion for animals. That will never change." Well, I find that statement a little bit hypocritical, considering not all of the products are actually vegan. The company is to be respected for strictly adhering to their practice of never testing on animals, and at least making a good number of their products completely cruelty-free. He continued to talk about the fact that they would never sell in China after people were expressing concerns about wider distribution, international distribution, after being acquired by such a large brand who does sell its products in countries like China that require animal testing. He said, "Rest assured, we continue to have ironclad rules in place that will ensure that we never test on animals and will not sell in China." The CEO of Estee Lauder had expressed interest in Too Faced based on their interest in diversifying their portfolio and acquiring brands that appeal more to millennials. This is, of course, a great idea, as millennials are a huge group of people who are going vegan, who are moving towards a more cruelty-free life, and find brands that share their values appealing. It is still of concern, though, for those of us who have relied on Too Faced and now feel a little bit of trepidation in the fact that they have been purchased by such a huge company with hugely dissimilar values. As many people point out, when you purchase products from a company that is owned by another company, the money does eventually lead to the parent company's pocket. And many people will no longer support Too Faced when they know that their money will be going to Estee Lauder, a company that is in no way cruelty-free. So what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts in general about vegan or cruelty-free brands being acquired by ones that are not so cruelty-free, and your thoughts on this specific acquisition of Estee Lauder purchasing Too Faced. Will you continue to buy Too Faced products? The next story of the day is that the North Pole is an insane 36 degrees warmer than normal as winter descends. It's polar night right now in the Arctic. This is the time of the year that the Arctic gets the coldest it will be all year round. This is when the ice thickens and grows. But this year it's not getting nearly as cold as it normally does. In fact, the temperatures are at a record high, and the sea ice is at a record low and growing very slowly. Experts who study the region are taken aback and reporting on these incredible numbers. Zach Labe, a PhD student at the University of California, tweeted out an image on Wednesday of Arctic temperatures about 20 degrees Celsius higher than normal, north of 80 degrees latitude. He said, "Today's latest Arctic mean temperature continues to move in the wrong direction, up. Quite an anomalous spike." This is the image he shared. As you can see, the temperature above 80 degrees latitude is just -5 degrees Celsius. As any of you know, in Canada, -5 degrees Celsius is not very cold. Normally, it would be negative 25 degrees Celsius, and that's a huge difference. Daniel Swain, a climate scientist at UCLA, added, despite onset of polar night, temperatures near the North Pole are increasing. Extraordinary situation right now in the Arctic, with record low sea ice. But this isn't the first time this has happened. This is the second year in a row the temperatures in the Arctic have risen to incredible heights. During the final days of 2015, the temperatures near the pole reached almost the melting point. It's about 20 degrees Celsius or 36 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than normal over the Arctic Ocean, along with cold anomalies of about the same magnitude over North Central Asia. This comes from an Arctic specialist from Rutgers University, Jennifer Francis. The Arctic warmth is a result of a combination of record low sea ice extent for this time of year, probably very thin ice, and plenty of warm and moist air from lower latitudes being driven northward by a very wavy jet stream. I find this information staggering and very worrisome. If you want to learn more about the specifics and what the specialists are saying about this jet stream and its impact not only on the Arctic, but on North Central Asia and on the north of Canada, Siberia, check out the link below. On a positive note, the next story of the day is that vegan food products spike by 257%. Yes, that's right, 257%. I would say that deserves a high five. Yes, I just high-fived the air by myself in my office. I hope you actually... Okay. Anyway, the market intelligence agency Mintel released their 2017 Global Food and Drink Trend Report, which is compiled by 60 experts and also based on consumer research. The agency identified 6 top trends which they called Power to the Plants, which is pretty catchy if you ask me. In other words, a significant trend toward plant-based products. The report states, the preference for natural, simple, and flexible diets will drive further expansion of vegetarian, vegan, and other plant-focused formulations. They also revealed that products labeled with vegan have increased by 257% since their 2010-2011 report. Mintel identified this trend as mainstreaming, which I would say is probably pretty accurate considering the news we've seen recently. Some of these areas with the biggest growth of veganism in the mainstream are North America, Europe, Russia, and China. So that's it for the stories of the day. I also have 2 links for you in the description box below. The first is a list of suggested actions that you can take for any of you who are concerned about the state of the world post-US election or who are looking for ways to help animals post-election. I will link a list below from the Dodo of organizations that can help people take action for animals. I'm also going to link a video below that I think you will find very interesting. It's a quick 3.5-minute video from EcoWatch. Many of you who watch my videos will already know this information, but maybe share it with a friend or family, share it on Facebook, because this kind of information is stuff that we need to get out there. As we talked about today, information is important. Information is power. When people are no longer ignorant of the situation, they can't just ignore it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Last Week in Vegan. Please let me know in the comments below the story you found most interesting and your thoughts and opinions on all of the stories. I really enjoy hearing what you think as well on all of these topics. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and are looking forward to this series continuing every single Monday. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of these videos or the videos that I upload on Saturdays. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comments below any videos you'd like to see from me on those Saturdays. Go find me on social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Pinterest. Follow me so we can be friends. Check out my last video, which is a Plan With Me video in my bullet journal for all of you bullet journalers out there. I know there's at least a couple of you. Don't forget to check out my blog, plantbasedbride.com, where I have a huge number of blog posts, new posts going up every single Wednesday, as well as lots of resources and information to help you out, whether you're interested in veganism, a vegan diet, a vegan lifestyle, minimalism, or vegan weddings. And don't forget, if you enjoy what I do and appreciate all of the hours that I put into creating free content for you, please consider supporting me on Patreon. We're a small family on there right now, but we're strong, and I would love to see you over there. You can contribute as little as $1 a month, and I promise you that money goes to making my content better for you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. Bye.